Military band is headed to Orono to spread some holiday cheer. The U.S. Air Force Heritage of America Band is making a stop at the Collins Center for the Arts in December for their holiday show. A small group from the band was in town today, touring the venue on the University of Maine campus. The show is planned for Thursday, December 12th at 7 p.m. Organizers say it's a family-friendly performance that gives everyone a chance to come together, celebrate the winter holidays, and learn more about the United States Air Force.
Music really is the universal language. It transcends so many things that might divide us, but it brings people together. It's very important to our United States military and the Air Force in particular that we maintain contact with our public. We don't have bases in every community. We don't have military personnel in every community. So we try to reach out to those places that maybe don't have contact with us as often so that we can show them what we're all about.
During their tour, the U.S. Air Force Heritage of America Band meets with young people as a means of recruitment and community engagement. Before they hit the Collins Center stage, their smaller full-spectrum rock band will perform for local schools on the morning of December 12th.